Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update on Litecoin. Right now we're at 139.06. And guys, basically what we're doing is running into my alarm that I set yesterday at 140.76. And then I had one at 130.19. And the reason why I was doing that, guys, was because I was expecting either a break to the upside here in this tight symmetrical equilibrium pattern that we're dealing with, or a break to the downside, obviously. Because what's been happening is, guys, we've just been fighting in this range. We're making higher lows, but we were having lower highs here until this area that we're at right now. And now we're looking for that breakout to the upside. And it's actually looking like it's starting to come a little bit, guys. We wicked out of this, so there is some profit taking. But what I want to pay attention to is if we do get some power out of that, because remember, trend line breaks are very powerful. They're very important. Okay, so guys, this is on the 4-hour chart right now. We're going to be looking at. If you guys like these Litecoin updates, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll dig into this. So what we're going to do, we're going to work from the 4 hours all the way back to the 1 day, and we're going to look at the time frames. Guys, what we were seeing here, do you see this green trend line? This is a trend line I've been playing and paying a lot of attention to. So we broke out of it, and what happened was we had a throwback basically onto it. We came back down, set a higher low, and now we're going to see if we can break out. If we do break out of this, my target would be up here around that 145, then $150 to the upside, and then to the downside, my target would be to test this trend line down here, the bottom part of our symmetrical triangle there. Now, typically with symmetrical triangles, guys, they're a neutral pattern, but they'll break to the upside more often if you're in an uptrend, and they'll break to the downside more often if you're in a downtrend. So we do want to pay attention to that. But what I like on the 4-hour here, we did have a stochastic cross to the upside. We're at 79 and 68, so we are getting into some overbought territory on the 4-hour, but we're still moving up here on the stochastic. And what I like to do after that, then I'll work my way out and kind of see how the stochastic's looking. We'll go to the 8-hour. 8-hour here, you can see we're making higher lows, got a cross to the upside, pushing up, trying to break out through that. See, it kind of looks like a little flag or pennant pattern here. So here's your flagpole, and then we started to have this choppiness inside here, guys, and then you're either going to wait for that break to the upside or the downside. And then as we work our way out to the 12-hour, you'll see right here we're still looking good here. It's a little bit of a volume coming back in, which is great. Then we'll go out to the 1 day, and we'll start getting into some indicators. So on the 1 day, we're at 57 and 59, so there's plenty of room to run to the upside. There's room to go to the downside if that's the case. But right now, guys, it is looking like we're wanting to break a little bit more bullish than we are bearish. So we want to keep that in on our radar. And right now, I'm just currently sitting in my position, being very patient, being cautious, waiting to see what happens here with these alarms and alerts. Okay? Stochastic cross here is looking like it's wanting to happen as well, so we're going to have to wait to see if we do get a confirm of that later tonight. That's going to be something that's important. But what I've been paying very close attention to, guys, is just really looking at these trends. If we go back to the 4 hours, and I'm going to make this small for you just so you can see. Take a look how beautiful this uptrend's been. So right here's where it started, guys. We were having lower highs, lower lows right here, and then this is where we had that inverted head and shoulders pattern basically right there, and we just continued to start moving. And what we want to do is chase these trends. So guys, even right here, this is that nice intermediate term bullish uptrend. This was a short-term correction or downtrend here where we're having lower highs and lower lows, and then we had that switch yet again. Do you see that supply and demand shift? And what we want to do is chase trends. So that's what we're looking for now. We've had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Waiting to see if this is our higher low, just chopping around in here, and if we're going to have another break to the upside. Now, if we go out to the 1 day chart, I want to show you some targets here. Some areas that we look at as overhead resistance. And my main target for overhead resistance here, guys, if we can get up over where we're at now, break strong out of 140, I truly believe we could come up here very fast and maybe even test that 175 where we had tweezer tops over here. And if you all have never seen tweezer tops, I want to show you just so you can put this on your radar for if you see them. And this was on the 1 day, so you can see rejection. We pushed up twice right here. See these? These are tweezer tops right up top there. And that's showing rejection. We tried to push up once, we saw rejection. We tried to push up again, and then we just started to fall down, guys. And that's what happened there. And you can see as we just follow this trend, you see the lower highs coming in and the lower lows. And what you want to look for is that supply and demand shift right there. And that's what we were looking at. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go into a few different indicators for us. We're going to see how things are looking here. Let's go into our favorites. Let's check out the Bollinger Bands first. Bollinger Bands, We are up above the middle band. We are not outside of the upper band, so there is still more room to run there, guys. We want to pay attention to that. So everything's looking okay on that. We're not in that overbought territory on the Bollinger Bands yet. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. Next one I want to go to is our MACD. Take a look at this. You guys tell me what you're doing with Litecoin right now. Have you been sitting in your positions? Are you, in cash right now waiting for a good spot to buy? Let me know what you're doing. So on the MACD, it looked like we were having a downwards cross there, and now we're just kind of kissing. We didn't confirm that cross. We didn't push all the way down to the downside. And that's what we were talking about the other day, how with the MACD it's very important to use, but do you see each time here we've been coming down to that line and we haven't fully crossed over it. Histogram tick to the downside, and then we bounce back up. Same deal here. Same deal here. So now we're going to have to see if we do start having some ticks to the downside or if we're just going to have another push up there. That's something that's going to be important. Then let's get into our RSI, see how our relative strength's looking. You guys, on the relative strength, we can even work through to the 4 hours there just to show you. So right away you can tell here, guys, we have higher lows that are working, which is great there. So that's what we want to pay attention to. Then we almost have like a little flat top here. So we're almost in an ascending triangle there on our RSI. We're at 67, so there is still more room to run to the upside. And as we work through the time frames, let's go to the 12-hour on the RSI. That's at 62. 8-hour. And this is what I like to do, guys. I'm just showing you kind of what I do by myself here as I work through the time frames. It's very important to work through these time frames. We're at 62 on the 8-hour. Then we can go down into the 4-hour here. And we're at 60, so there's plenty of room to run. And that's where I said we're just really in this equilibrium pattern. Things are getting very tight right now. Okay, and we're just waiting for that confirmed break. Whenever you see a break right here, guys, out of this trend line, you always want it to be on good volume. We don't want to see these large wicks where we're seeing profit take place, and then you can get pushed back down and you start bouncing in this channel. Do you see how we're in this channel here, or this symmetrical triangle just bouncing? So to the downside, we look down around this area here. If we are to break down through these moving averages right there, but guys, I'm anticipating a break to the upside. Then we need to challenge that 142.71, then be up around that 145, then ultimately around that 150. Okay, so we're really looking at that. We're paying attention to these things, guys. Those are my alarms. That's where I have them right now. So if you didn't see that, I have them at 140.76, which has been alerted for me earlier this morning. And then to the downside, it's at 130. But what I'm actually going to do to show you how to do this, I'm going to move this up a little bit more because I want to know if it starts breaking down through these moving averages. So we're going to put it at about 133.60 right there. Okay. So guys, that's what I was looking at for you. I wanted to bring you a quick one here, show you what I'm paying attention to. I'm just watching this little pennant here, this symmetrical triangle, just to see which way we break. If it's to that upside or the downside. So let me know what you guys think. God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to try to get a couple more videos out today, best that I can. But it's a pleasure to be here with you. Let's just wait for that break, see what happens. It's all about being patient and cautious right now. God bless you all.